Good evening, everybody. Thank you for being patient with us due to a lot of different things flying at us at once, especially in Streamlabs. But that's okay because we are live and everybody can hear me, right? Okay. The voice in the back of my head tells me we're good, so we're good. Welcome, everybody, to Dire Bear and welcome to Falskallan Nights. We're going to start with our advertisement for D&D Beyond. We want to thank D&D Beyond for sponsoring us, for making sure that we have good good stream setup and good character sheet setup for all of our players, so that way they can easily manage everything from spell slots to inventory to health and to all the other little fun little stuffs. But with that, we're gonna get the game. Last time on Falskallan Nights, the group decided to follow up on Halsterian's ever so panicked favor to his great granddaddy, where he lost a grimoire due to it being taken. Due to the art of deduction and some thorough investigation, the team deduced that they would be having to go into the sewers, but decided not to do it without their barbarian. So the next day, they grabbed their barbarian, and the sewers they went. While down in the sewers, the barbarian Spleen had received a vision from one of her totems, guiding her in the direction to where they needed to go, which led them into a giant crocodile's nest and hatchery. Through some inventive uses of spells and very inventive uses of spells, the team was able to manage to dispatch the giant crocodile, but one of its minions was put under the animal friendship spell, and now they have a friend dragging them around throughout the city, which they came out to. But also, they picked up an egg in plans of hatching it. We'll see what will happen, but now the team has the grimoire in hand after carving it out of the giant crocodile's stomach. What will Team Them do? Unfortunately, we are missing 2 players, so this might be a quick session. But with that in case, you're up in Onver, out in Ashhorn's Hollow, carrying a floating crocodile and an egg in a sack. What do you guys do? It's about the middle of the day. You're silent. You're muted. Oh, wait. What do you want to say?
Concentrating on fly is what I do.
As you guys tentatively have a crocodile on a string flying through the middle of the air, it's still doing its like leg flappy thing, because this is very much a singular experience for for a creature that does not know how to fly and understand the fact that it is floating. But you are getting looks left, right, and center. Bridie's pulling it along. Fluffy, I'm gonna teach you everything.
They've never seen a Macy's Day Parade?
God. The Onverse Day Parade. Spleen. I can't wait to hatch this thing. I need to figure it out. Bridie, we need to go.
Be careful with it.
It's okay. It's fine. We'll just take it to the guild office. Everything will be okay. I think Pride will be quite happy with it.
Pride will be surprised, that's for sure.
Yes. And with that, both teammates take off, because I'm not doing shit with them. But now you're now standing in the middle of this beautiful procession, a little bit further from the sewer grate that you guys came up from, but it's still cobblestone everywhere. Very nice London down by the Thames is aesthetic. It's about midday still. Yeah, you're around 12 o'clock noon. But you guys are stinky and covered with a lot of, well, sewer stuff.
Yeah, I'm prestidigitating that right now.
You point your finger and it's mess be gone.
Hal, you might want to give us a little extra cover up smell, just in case.
I think more than a little, yes. What are you thinking? Cinnamon?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Cinnamon.
And the smell of cinnamon wafts into the air.
Ah, my eyes.
Welcome to the cinnamon challenge.
Oh. Well, about as clean as they're going to get. We really should be, well, at least if you'd like to come with, I'm sure you'll be pleasantly surprised. Surprised at
You
least.
know what? I'm coming with you because I'm not letting go of this spell, and I don't want to be around when they get in trouble.
Fair point.
Oh God, I can just imagine that. As you guys start walking through, Halsterian takes the mantle of leading everything through, and simple enough. It's you walk down the pseudo riverside that's there, and you take a left, you take a right, and you end up going through one of the more wealthier sides of the neighborhood, which is safe to say extremely wealthy.
I
Because
mean,
Ashhorn's
really.
oops, I was
Sorry,
gonna say
delay.
because Ashhorn's Hollow is known to have all the wealthy people there, but the elite are here to the Crescent Gate.
Even the sewers smell better here.
I'm sure. Probably don't have giant crocs either.
I mean, not feral ones, anyway.
Domesticated super crocs.
Yeah.
You've heard Howard, you've definitely heard stories from bums hanging around that if you went to the sewers of the Crescent Gate district in Ashhorn Hollow, they were more likely you'd find golden stool. But I
Maybe
digress.
And
maybe
digest.
we should just go gather that stuff up.
I'll leave you to that.
Or spleen.
She'll have a good time.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe. Cleaner than some of the other stuff she's been in. Oh, that hill giant. Oh,
Hey, it's gone now. That's what matters.
oh. Still gives me shivers down my spine. Ugh.
Next time we'll just have to clean and cook it without her noticing.
When it comes to
Need to
spleen and her things, nothing gets by her.
be better off just having a bar of soap the size of a backpack.
I don't I don't know if that would work.
I'm willing to give it a chance.
feel like she'd notice.
Uh, but when she'd notice is another question.
That's a true story.
As you guys are walking, you notice that a couple of the patrons are still looking at you funny, and just a couple humans doing their thing, and you guys realize, you look down. Yeah, as much as prestidigitation does a good job, you don't get rid of stank.
Yeah.
Like, there's stank and that's stank.
Oh well, they'll just have to deal with it.
Eventually, you guys make it to Baltrus's Manor, and Howard, this is the first time you've ever come by this place. So, as you're walking up towards it, normally these houses are very like tight and enclosed to each other, very like singular slot, or maybe like a double wide. But this is a full blown mansion that had a section of the city carved out for it. What you see is a wrought iron fence with like nice stonework peeking in, the fencing going right across, leading right to a gate that's completely open. And you guys turn and you walk in, and it's just this beautiful cobblestone that, like, you think it's a standard array. No, it's a whole different color. It's a nice gray instead of just this brownish cobblestone. This place speaks lavish and ostentatious. Walking to the
This
front
is.
door. Sorry.
Go ahead.
Walking to the front door, you guys see a giant 2-story peaked door, kind of like a cathedral. And it's not completely shut, but it's just slightly ajar. But what you see on top of it is a gorgeous carving of the scene of the Sundering. The scene that is believed to be when the Tieflings and the Asimir were launched into this world. The Tieflings coming from underneath from the demons, while the Asimir were dropped from above.
Hmm. So, Hal,
Yes.
I feel like this kind of thing is why everyone knows who the hell you are.
Yes.
I'm just throwing that out there.
Especially in this area. Very much so.
Remind me again why you run around with us instead of being a part of this?
It's no better way to learn than being the first one to do the learning, experiencing things for myself teaches me in a way that
The books don't.
overpaid tutors never could. It's
Yeah, I can understand that. Especially with us leaving the academy and going about things our own way.
yes, and uh, the more places I visit, the more I can investigate for NC's sake.
That's true. Any more leads on that?
None yet. I need to check in with Elris for a couple of things now. Uh, he might have more information for us later.
Yeah, that's true. Well, should I do the honors?
I know the way to get us to a place where we can get ourselves cleaned up and actually presentable. Let me.
Okay.
And I open it in and I start leading the way.
As you do, you open up this big door and you think it's going to be the most monstrous push that you ever have, but you realize the hinges are so well greased that just a little touch opens the door. It is a marvel just to think about it, especially for someone as analytic as you are, Howard.
That is a well-made door.
You walk in and you see this, well, ostentatious 2-level foyer.
Just kind of like,
Beautiful inlaid doors, nice buttresses, peaks, and everything. It's very much cathedral-like. Like everything just screams grand. I keep saying it, but I'm just gonna repeat because repetition legitimizes.
how much is gilded in gold?
Actually, not a whole lot. Crimson and lavender are the colors that keep popping up throughout the home. You keep walking through, you start noticing that there's a giant family tree of Baltris, starting from him and then everything that goes out. You follow it about 4 or 5 generations down, and you see House Darian's father.
How old is your grandfather again?
Old enough for me to know not to ask.
Noted. Don't ask. As curious as I am.
Mm-hmm. The smell of incense is reaching your nose. This place is well perfumed, but also well staffed with a bunch of waitresses, butlers, and everything else just bustling around, cleaning this place right up still, maintaining everything.
Especially after what we've tracked in.
Yeah. You guys
How many
keep
people have screamed when we entered?
nobody. I guess everybody looks at you and realize, oh, it's Hal. Oh, it's Hal.
Just like silently like
Look,
apologizing as we go by.
make a perception check, the both of you.
Okie dokie. Which one is... Am I blind? There it is. Okay.
19?
Oh boy. I think that's a 12.
Hal,
That's a 12.
you feel a presence right behind you.
I don't even turn to look. Hello, Kareg.
And as he stands right behind you, this well-tailored half-orc just looks at you. Well, we could definitely smell you coming in, but how is my favorite grandson?
Ready to be cleaned up a bit here before I truly see. Uh, brain fart.
Ultras.
Yes.
Yes, I thought you would choose the smart move to do that, but I already planned for you guys to get stinky because, well, you hang around with that goblin.
We tried bathing her. We survived. Uh, it's very temporary that leaving that one clean.
Oh, I know, goblins don't like to be bathed. It's just natural to them. But it's okay. I will get you all tailored up. Come, we'll
I
get you
mean,
all
we
suited.
convinced her just the other day.
I'm pretty sure he takes you both by the shoulders and starts walking you forward. And you realize, like, this guy's got a grip. Like, you think somebody within a butlering status wouldn't exactly be very soft-handed. He's just boom, nice tight grips, and he just keeps pushing you forward.
Like, ow,
Yep.
silently.
Heading up the stairs and immediately takes a right. You make your way into a tailoring room, and he gently pushes you in. All right, well, let's see what we can do. All right, clothes off. Let's do this.
All right, but I'm keeping my weapons.
Oh, you won't be having your weapons in front of Baltrus.
What?
Please. Best not to argue.
Don't worry, they will be safe. We know how precious your things are to you.
Especially the shield. Don't damage it.
I wouldn't dream of it.
I will very hesitantly hand over my sword and shield.
That is a good lad. Don't worry, you will get them back. just, just hear you grumbling under your breath there.
And also explaining to my mother that my shield is my spell book. Very unwilling to give that to someone.
Hi, world.
My mother
Hi.
said hello.
Hi, Ma. Shield book. Shield book. Commencing virtuous mission.
At some point, I'll be able to cast shield with shield. We'll get there.
nonetheless, you're in the middle of this changing room, and it's very much like mirrors. It's very octagonal. Mirrors on every one side, but through every other side is a plethora of clothing.
Oh, there's way too much selection. We don't have to pick it ourselves, do we?
Oh, please. I've already chosen for you guys.
Oh, thank fuck.
And he immediately grabs one. He immediately grabs the one, and it's all in a bag. He hands it to you. Here you go. And Hal, I am sure you probably already know what I've gotten for you.
Oh, I've been thinking about. There's one I haven't seen in a while. I wonder if maybe that was the one you were picking out.
Oh, that one? I like the way you think. Immediately turns around, goes right into one of the closets on the right hand side, comes right back out. And it's basically a spitting image of what Baltrus wears. It's a very finely tailored like robe suit and whatnot. Nice tails on it, all the lavender and crimson. Huge, like very large collar, but also golden decals all around. I think he would be rather proud that you chose this one. And hands it to you.
But I have to
Very good.
ask, how many duplicates are there in these outfits? How many spares?
I would be a terrible tailor and a butler if I told everyone my secrets.
Point taken. All right.
Hal, you open up the bag and it's very much just academy robes, but it's the dress. It's the dress variant.
Oh, gross. I didn't think I'd have to wear this again.
To be fair, they are actually really nice. And especially if it's in Baltrus's manner, there's ostentatiousness added to it.
Mhm.
but it's still very much you open it up and realize, oh fuck this.
Mm. All right, which way to the freaking bath? Let's get this over with.
This is the change room.
What the voice said? What? You don't want us to wash up?
Oh, don't worry. I have my ways.
I'm just eyeballing the shit out of him. Slowly start putting on coat.
As you do, it's this nice. You never recognize the smell as you put it on, but as you do, it's very much like potpourri kind of a scent. But then you realize, oh shit, the stank is actually going away.
Hmm.
And Hal, it's the same thing for you.
Oh, I feel much cleaner. Oh, that's so much better.
I am
Glad
very
and
good
refreshing.
at my job.
Mm.
Let me tell you, it's very refreshing after being punctured multiple times in a sewer.
Mm-hmm. I would suggest you may get yourself checked out. You might be infected.
Yeah,
Actually, come
yeah.
here. And it's like there's a cut above your head there, above your eyebrow there. Come, let me see that. He pulls out a handkerchief. He just gives him a swab, and it's like that should do it.
That's it?
You heal. You heal 4 points of damage.
Shit. I don't even remember what my health's at, but I know it's low.
As he wipes it, and he wipes off the blood, but the cut goes with it. Now you're a little more presentable.
Well, thank you. That feels a lot better.
Mm-hmm.
My headache's gone too. Well, how. When we go in, how am I supposed to address your grandfather?
He will accept Lord Baltrus.
Okay. Or should I just not talk? That might be easier.
That's a good start.
Alright, that works. That's my plan. I'm sticking to it.
Actually, I agree with you. That is very smart of you. Opening your mouth might just get yourself into bigger trouble.
Wait, why are we in trouble?
I didn't say anything.
Ah, fuck. Oh. Well, how? I don't know where they are, but the spell just ran out, so that crocodile is no longer in the sky.
All you hear in the background, a bunch of screaming, spleen, yelling.
All,
And then all you
all the
hear
way across town.
and all you hear is, why the fuck did you bring this thing into that guild? Libertia, the small woman with a set of pipes.
Well, after you.
Please follow me. Kareg, basically, he turns around, walks out. He has his hands behind his back. This well-tailored half-orc is walking with a strut and pride like you wouldn't believe. Eventually, you make it through the hallways, going up to the third level. And Hal, this is a very reminiscent spot of where you were last time. You see the loads of chairs outside his main office. They are empty. And Kareg immediately two immediately two knocks, one, and hits it lower. You can come in, Kareg. Is all you hear. Opens the door. And the warmth that comes out of it is kind of overwhelming for you, Howard, a little bit. Being an elf, it's, you're used to being warm, but it's just doesn't feel right.
Wee bit toasty.
A wee bit toasty. Al, it's perfect. You guys walk in, you see Baltris wearing the exact same thing that Hal is wearing. But you notice the tiefling still has a bunch of puncture, has a bunch of rings and whatnot hanging off his horns, very nicely capped right off with nice gold and gem inlays. The amount of detail is very prevalent. This man knows what he likes. But you walk into the room and it's very Oval Office like, where there's a giant window right behind him, nice ovate shape, but there's a couple side rooms where Kareg just walks into. You notice a fireplace that's roaring, absolute roaring, with a couple of chairs sitting right beside it and a couple of couches. Think very much the Oval Office. It's exactly kind of like that. That's how I think of it in my mind. Just that design. Halsterian.
Lord Baltris.
And you are?
This is my acquaintance from the Academy, Howard.
Howard. Welcome to my chambers. So, I heard you lost the book, but I assume that you're here, so you found it.
Yes, Lord, that is correct.
I knew I could rely on you. I'd known there's a couple people who were willing to go after it. Wanted to see if you could hold your own, and you know what? I'm proud that you did. And the scrape marks on both of you. That makes me proud. Although I don't like tardiness.
Indeed not.
Come, sit down. Let me see this book.
Certainly, and I lay it on his desk and take a seat.
You do that. You lay it down. Giant thud hitting. And the the leather was rough, but since you had put the locket on it, it kind of healed itself back up a little bit, and you could see a lot of the details coming right through with the embossing that had happened and all the beautiful little inlays that were kind of set within the leather itself. This has changed since the last time I've seen it.
Yes, I pull out the locket. This was actually with the hill giant that we defeated earlier, and well, when this locket came into contact with the book, it was altered, and I hand that over to him.
He grabs he grabs the locket, he grabs the tome. You see his eyes just flash. Howard, you recognize it as the identify spell. But the way the flashing works, it's a powerful use of identify. It's like, you've not managed to find one, but two outer planar materials. Kareg, come here. Kareg immediately comes out of one of the side rooms and he's holding tea. He's holding like a bunch of teacups and like a kettle. He comes out, pours the tea, lays everything in front of Baltris. Looks like you found these. Very impressive. And where did you say you found this locket?
It was with the other spoils with the hill giant that we had defeated earlier.
Hill giant. Baltrus, you never told me anything like that. Baltrus looks up. I don't have to tell you anything. Karek just looks, nods, and immediately steps back. And he now steps behind Baltrus in full attentiveness, him smiling, his shit-eating grin like he always does. Interesting. Well, is that everything?
I did also reach out to Crimson Pride.
These days.
She's doing well. Has a bit of a limp from what we saw, but did not slow her down much in combat when we saw her during the practice session. That being said, she fears she won't be able to pull any strings to get the attention of forgot his first name.
Violet Fury.
Last name then. Violet Fury. But instead we will be visiting the academy, as the Tenured Cobalt should have a better hold on Fury's ear.
Cobalt and Fury. Always. Always the best friends they are. I hate the colors. But what can we do? I can't elect them. They elect themselves, and I can't get myself into them. Would have been nice if I became a crimson or a violet. Hell, even a green, given the commerce. But what can I do? There's nothing you can. So that's everything?
As of this time, Lord.
Good. I could try and pull some strings, but let's just be honest. You know that's not going to happen. The colors don't like me, but I want things to change. So, I want you to do something about it. Kara can give you information on how to get a hold of attenuate cobalt.
Very good.
If you wish. Sit, enjoy the tea, enjoy the company. But then leave me. I have guests coming.
Of course.
Kareg immediately he steps away from Baltrus, walks into what looks to be like a little kitchenette area, comes out with a bunch of little snacks, just ham, cheeses, a little bread, olives, pickled onions, some mushrooms. Very just charcuterie.
Definitely good to enjoy with tea. I lean over to Howard, like, definitely give these a shot.
Kareg just leans down. Oh, definitely.
Grab in some mushrooms.
Yeah. You immediately get high. The world just starts spacing out. No, they're very ripe. They're very you bite into them, they're super juicy as if they've been soaked for a while. These are very rare to come by these days, especially with all the embargoes coming in and out, but a lot of the shipments from Bloknesvik seem to be slowing down.
Do I know which direction that is?
It is direct south.
Direct south. And we came from the east?
Yes. So it'd be on the southern peninsula of Falskallan.
Yeah.
Interesting. Do we have any lead on why that might be?
Oh, descent. The swamp people don't like all of us picking their stuffs. The usual.
Hmm.
But what do I know? I'm just a simple butler.
What do you know, indeed?
He just sits there and smiles at you.
Could that be related to Trollsbane making its way up from the south?
Are you asking this aloud, or is this just you
Aloud.
aloud? Maybe?
Hmm.
I'm not one to draw conclusions off of information I don't know.
There's always the issue of learning what you don't know. Isn't that right?
Well, of course. But why would I do that? That's not my job.
Certainly not, and was not what I was implying.
Oh, and what were you?
There's a guild that can do several tasks. We may have a group interested in investigating that as well.
Then maybe I would suggest you go there and prod around. Might be a couple jobs that might pop up. I'm not too familiar with the guild, but I hear you are.
Hmm.
You hear Baltus in the background. Oh, just quit the dick contest over there.
I'm just being amused while I eat.
I've had enough of all of your presences. Everyone leave.
With a nod, I silently make my way out.
Kareg does the same thing.
I will follow as well, and as soon as the door is shut behind us, I lean over to Hal like, why don't the colors like him?
Afraid of his power. They don't
Is
understand him.
is he more powerful than them?
They wouldn't want you to think that. And who am I to say the full extent of my great grandfather's power?
That's some immense power if he is. Hell, even being enough to scare them is pretty immense. You don't
Magically or
become
politically, yes.
you don't become a color for nothing. Huh.
Suddenly feeling like I'm just the grandchild of a mafia boss. That's
I have had that feeling from the moment we walked into the yard.
yeah. Anyway,
Anyway, so I'm assuming you guys are gonna start walking downstairs.
yes.
And you do. Kareg basically he left, but he went through another section, went through another door. So you guys are kind of just free to leave. But you guys also don't have your weapons and stuff. So
Ah, yes, that's
Not
right.
yet. Oh,
you
I'm
might want to pick that
definitely
up.
not leaving without those. I'm just
Yep.
waiting to find out where we go to get them.
You basically you're not told where to go, but you kind of assume that you're gonna have to go back to that change room. And immediately it's not hard to find. but you go in and you notice Kareg is already there. I've had my staff clean this up while you were waiting.
Well, that was fast.
Very much
Thank you.
appreciated. Thank you.
Yeah.
Good. And that shield is very dirty. We had to polish it rather well.
Look at my shield.
All your inscriptions are still there because they were carved in.
Good.
But it's actually rather spit shine polished, and it's probably the best you've ever seen it. Like, I know you're good with cleaning your stuff, but this is to, like, when you get a professional done, it's like a professional does it.
They got the
It's-
tools.
Yeah, they got the tools like, pine salt and Listerine. It's like, is that borax I smell?
I unsheath the sword just a little bit.
And it is clean. Absolute.
How's the edge on it?
You prick it and it's razor.
Hmm. I appreciate the maintenance.
What can I say? You do things for my lord, we help you out.
I will put them back on.
Now, if you don't have anything else, please leave me to my work.
Before we go, Lord Vulture said you had perhaps a lead to perhaps something specific to get the attention of Attenuate Cobalt.
I do.
Is this information we would be willing to, rather, we would be able to have you willing to part with?
My dear Halsterian. What makes you think I'm going to part with information like that?
Simply asking a question if you were willing to part or not. And if the answer is no, then we will leave you to your work.
Perfect. Be gone.
Thank you, Kalreg. And I lead Howard out.
Like a room or two away. So what the hell is up his ass? Why won't he share information?
It's like he both is and isn't a spy master. I mean, when it comes down to it, he is a butler. But when's the last time you heard a spy master call themselves a spy master?
Yeah, that's true. He seemed a little weird since we met him at the bar.
He's been weird a little longer than that.
Well, I mean, for you, I just met him. But any idea what we could do to get that information from him?
Question to the DM. Is there anything in my experience with him, with Kareg, that would give me any indication of a way he could be buttered up,
Persuaded.
getting some brownie points?
Kareg is notorious for never being buttered up. He's
I
very
thought as much.
dedicated and loyal. Information that he loses is very much what he chooses.
Well then, if we happen to find the right path towards bending the ear of Cobalt, likely when it becomes in his best interest to give us information, he will. Otherwise, we'll have to figure it out on our own.
All right. Well, I'm not complaining. Less time we have to deal with him. I mean, I appreciate the maintenance. I really do. These things are in nice condition.
He does very good work.
And Hal, you
Very.
also notice that it's like your stuff is cleaned as well and very
Mhm.
like thoroughly maintained as well. Like any little mended thing that could have been done has been done. So
I can see why your father keeps him around. Your grandfather keeps him around.
Very detail oriented as well.
mhm.
Although seems to press toes to get information sometimes, or little too nosy for information sometimes, maybe? I'm not sure.
If he wants information, he'll get it.
Hmm. I'm surprised your grandfather didn't tell us anything about the grimoire or the amulet.
I've learned that it's not my place to ask, not my place to know until he wishes us to know. And as I am learning on my own, he guides me when I need. But if things are above my pay grade, as it were, I leave them there.
Yeah, the outer planes seem a little bit out of our pay grade.
A bit.
That's a bit far.
That being said, I think it would be wise if we find anything else that's that unusual, perhaps to present it. It may come in handy for whatever he may be doing,
Yeah.
as long as that doesn't backfire. You never know.
Well, I guess all we can do is go try and find whatever the hell is causing the plague.
Yes, especially if it's been coming so much from the south. Ah,
That very much makes me think that it's related. Like you don't.
I agree.
That's a big deal for something to come up, and at the same time the supply lines are having problems.
Especially if it's mainly affecting the dock workers. Did I understand that correctly?
That's what they said.
Yes, that sounds very shipment and supply related as well.
But not affecting orcs or goblins. He's an orc.
Pardon?
He might know more about this too. I don't know.
Oh, you mean Kareg? I believe
Yeah,
he's a half orc. Is that right?
That is correct.
Yeah,
yeah.
he is a half orc. I don't know if it would affect him or not.
I don't really remember if she specified for half orcs.
Hmm.
She did.
Ah,
Yeah, she said half orcs and goblins.
well
You
then,
guys are
Well,
you guys sorry, you guys are saying this as like you're walking down and out
yeah.
and like
yeah.
leaving the manor and whatnot.
Mhm.
As
Wait, did we keep the clothes?
no, you guys got changed. Like
Oh, okay.
like you got your equipment back, you got everything changed. It's like one of those
Okay.
NPC like you're gonna look pretty for this one scene in a video game, and then everything's just like
Yeah, I was like, wait a minute.
And back to the hot dog suit,
Like,
how
y'all
very
were
Saints Row
filthy.
of
We
you.
don't want that shit
right?
back.
You just everybody walks in with hot dog suits during the big bad evil guy battle.
Some shenaniganery that we got into because of spleen somehow.
Sounds about it. Nothing beats when a game actually includes your actual armor for cutscenes.
Yeah.
Exactly. Walking down and out, immediately you run into one of the maids. And she looks up and she's just, oh, jeez, I'm sorry, jeez, I'm sorry. And she just immediately turns around, runs back out.
Did she look familiar?
No,
No.
it wasn't the one that ran into you the first time.
Okay.
But as you like, wait, what about, you realize there's something in your hand. And it looks like it's a paper note.
Interesting. I'll read it to
Looking
myself,
over
I
his
suppose.
shoulder.
You read it to yourself. All it says is Vil Blackwater, halfling woman, blue hair, evocation spire.
Patient Spire.
Evocation spire.
Did you hide it from me when I tried to look over your shoulder?
I believe you did. You said to yourself, right?
Yes.
So make a sleight of hand check. You make a perception check.
Sure.
Okie dokie. Oh shit, that was pretty good. 18.
Natural 20.
Oh!
Damn.
You immediately glance,
Oh.
you gain all the information, you're just like, got it. Howard's just like,
Oh, come on. Share.
if you could turn back time. Wait, wrong chair.
Oh, actually, JT, could I get the entire message DM to me just so I can have it, make sure I didn't miss anything for my notes?
Yep.
Thank you, sir.
Un momento. Jesus, we don't talk often, do we? No, we don't.
I think it was something along the lines of hot mage lady, opposite color of the hot knight lady. Evocation spire.
I tell you what, meet you halfway on this. I would have mumbled Evocation Spire out loud like I did earlier.
Yes.
Evocation Spire?
What? What? What about the spire?
It's just, oh, that name is spelt wrong. Whoops. There we go. Vil Blockwater.
That's a different type of profession right there.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what I missed. Okay, cool.
Are we going to the evocation spire?
I think it will be a good lead.
When you hear Evocation Spire, it's one of the main spires in the academy.
After you.
The academy is in. Okay,
It is.
that's what I thought.
It's closer to the entrance of Ashhorn's Hollow.
Oh.
But which is basically kind of like a 40-minute walk from where you are.
Onward then.
After you. And no, you said a 40-minute. Okay, that's not long enough.
No. And you guys really haven't had a time to sit and rest. either. Like you kind of sat and ate, but it was more or less just a quick like drop your shit off, enjoy a little bit of food,
Yeah, that
get the hell out.
Mm-hmm.
yeah. When did we eat? What time is it?
You ate around noon, and you did have snacks. You did have a snack there, so it's not like you're peckish,
Okay.
but you have ate, but you're still not rested.
Well, it's up to you if you'd like to take a break first, or if we should
Nah,
hurry
nah.
on.
Let's just keep going. It'll be
Very
fine.
well.
You're right, Kathleen. That is a very classic Canadian direction. It's about a 10-minute walk. we don't we don't have measurements in like actual units. We just use walks. You just walk 20 minutes this way, you take a left going eastward, and that's about it. Making your way outside
To the spire.
to the spire. Face is bright and your hometown. Okay. With that, we're gonna end the game right there. Keep the short session short. I want to let the ladies have a little bit of fun in themselves, but with
I
that,
want to know what they're doing when that crocodile suddenly stops flying.
I'm gonna have a fun time role playing that. By the way, I think we'll do that one live where it's just gonna be the both of them playing, and you guys might have a seat in the background.
Yeah, I have no problem
Cool.
with that. We could start the next game like that.
Exactly, that's what I'm thinking. Given, Bryony, I'm not sorry. This is gonna be funny. But with that, once again, we'd like to thank D&D Beyond for sponsoring us tonight. And also, we are in the middle of a pandemic. Shit is still real. It's happening. And we just have to take the time to be kind to each other. Just remember to wash your hands, wear your mask, social distance. Don't be a dick about it. But with that, I want to wish you all a good night, and I only have one question. Do you dare to imagine? Have a good night.